Well, hello and welcome once again to the DCL podcast, where we're inviting you to sit back, relax, and we'll be on our way shortly. Good afternoon, DCL podcast fans. For those of you not watching football today and who are watching the Parks panel, I guess, instead, a lot of exciting things came out and we just had to talk about it, I guess, right, Christy? Chris?
Absolutely.
We had to talk about it so bad that I am in my car safely using Bluetooth to join you today.
I actually tweeted while some of the stuff was like towards the end of the Parks panel, and I was like, you know, for Disney enthusiasts, this is our Super Bowl. These announcements, this is where it's at. This is the thing to get excited about. Maybe it can be like our Oscar nominations. I don't know.
I like the Oscar nominations maybe better than the Super Bowl, but analogy, I don't know. Anyways, either way, it's a good thing. But Disney Cruise Line, or at the D23 Parks Expo today, they announced the sixth ship of the Disney Cruise Line fleet, and I don't think anybody saw that name coming, did they?
No. I could not. That was not on anybody's bingo square.
Chris, what did you think when you first saw that name?
I'm just trying to picture Disney getting the trademark for the word treasure, because what?
Well, and they can't get the word, they can get the trademark for it, but they can get the look. So they already have their look, right, of what it's going to look like. So that's where they can keep the word, because you can't keep the word wish either. No,
but I mean, to be fair, there's like several magics. There's the carnival magic and some other magics and things like that. So I think it's you know what? I like the name based on what it's themed around, which is adventure. We've already got two comments that Anthony says Trader Sam's at sea has to be on the ship with an adventure theme, right? And Lake says he's at Trader Sam's right now. I'm not sure if Katie's with them, but they have got a new release of Monster the Whale, kind of a tiki mug. And they're down there picking that up today. So I think that's cool. What do you think? Yeah, Trader Sam's has to have like some sort of theming on there.
Well, did you see? So there were the sneak peeks of the little pictures that we got before the name. And so the sneak peeks were Peter Pan was flying first. And if you've been on the Wish, Tinkerbell has a portion in the Seize the Adventure show where she does a little something. So do we think Peter Pan is going to be doing like the little something in the show to keep the magic going or something? I don't know, but I feel like similarly aligned. And then there was the little picture of Coco. So I'm thinking there's going to be a Coco restaurant or a show, right? And Moana. So maybe Chris finally gets her Moana restaurant. Oh, and then the scary ghosts, Hatbox Ghosts.
the three hitchhiking ghosts. You mean? Yeah, they had them in the window too. Oh my gosh, I have never been. There's certain things that I get excited about, but the idea of a haunted mansion lounge on this ship. Please,
do I have to go?
Stop. Yes, you have to. And if they could do a door like that on the Wish for Hyperspace Lounge, I would love to see what kind of door they have that enters you into the Haunted Mansion Lounge. We're just speculation.
Are we sure I have to go? I don't like ghosts.
Well, let me read a little something that they put out. I wasn't able to. I got a bunch of screenshots, so we got those up on Facebook from the expo. So look for those. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of images coming out in the next couple of days as Disney Cruise Line catches up with the information. But I think this is what Josh said. Imagineers have dreamed up a new design concept inspired by the theme of adventure, celebrating Walt Disney's lifelong love of exploration. The Grand Hall is inspired by the grandeur and mystery of a gilded place, drawing on real world influences from Asia. And maybe this is where you heard the Asia thing, Christy, that we're talking about.
Oh, that is probably where I heard it.
But Asia and Africa, and paying homage to the far-off land of Agrabah. At the center, the signature statue will feature Aladdin, Jasmine, and their magic carpet. And this just kind of has tones to me of what's the mansion that's over in Hong Kong Disneyland, Chris, that everybody loves.
Oh, Mystic Manor.
Yes, Mystic Manor. Like this, like. I know that I'm probably one of the few people that thinks I was excited about this, but the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, if they put that theming in the lobby and around the ship with all of these like different tones, I'm going to love it.
I mean, one thing that I noticed in today's presentation is how much the parks overseas, especially the parks in Asia, have their own characters and their own stories and lore. And even the explorers of whatever, that's not an American thing. That started overseas. So I feel like maybe we're learning that Disney sees value in creating park-specific IP.
Steve, I feel like you're supposed to comment here.
You're not going to pick up on that. You're not going to pick up on that one. No, I think they do too. And as we've talked about, and this is not to pick on the Wish whatsoever, but the Wish it seems like it's perfect for what she does, 3 and 4 day sailings, the way that they built that. I think they're going to learn a lot as far as like storage spaces in the rooms and things like that, possibly for longer voyages. And I hope that will kind of seize into that whole adventure thing with that theming, that this ship at some point may be the ship that goes, over to Europe, maybe through the Panama Canal over to Asia, down to Australia, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I think it's got a lot of possibilities to be a more worldwide ship than the Wish does.
The only problem is that typically when a cruise line has a new ship style and they release it, except for decor, the first 2 ships are typically exactly the same. So they won't have really space, because the cabin is the cabin, right? And the restaurants are the restaurants. And so they typically, and we don't know really what's going to happen here, right? But the Grand Hall is the exact same Grand Hall with new, beautiful, dark colors and blues instead of, the other colors. So I don't know that we get to have a better cabin yet, or better dining room spaces, maybe larger yet, because typically in all of the cruise lines, the new ships, the first 2 are exactly the same, and it's just a design element that's separate or that's different.
No, I totally get that. So we'll see what happens. But the good thing is though, what we do know, and you've now sailed on the Wish 3 times, and we've seen it just in other reports and stuff like that, is that Disney Cruise Line is taking a lot of feedback from people on this ship, and so.
Yeah, but I didn't get a survey, an email survey at the end of this last cruise. Why did they ask me for my opinion? I have them.
Yeah, because they already know your opinion, maybe. I don't know. Because for the other 2, they're like, come on, it doesn't change that much. No, I'm just kidding. You should get a survey after every one of them. So okay. What do we know about the treasure right now? Well, basically that it's going to be adventure themed, that it has a beautiful picture of Aladdin, Jasmine on the magic carpet. And I think this is cool. It's like flying over some plants and everything in the lobby. I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of that adventure out there in the wild sort of theming. The speculation is the inaugural sailings will be in 2024. And as far as booking goes, who knows? That will be to be determined. Anything else, I guess, about this ship, Chris, that you kind of took away?
Yeah, they did announce a vastly expanded dino district, which I think is a great call. I know that Josh is a big fan of the podcast and has heard our cries for expansion in this area. So we're very excited about that.
No, that is not true, people. That is not a thing. That didn't happen.
Well, with Dinoland going away at Animal Kingdom, it sounds like they got some places to move all those dinosaurs that are on the dinosaur ride. So maybe they'll find their way on the treasure.
Honestly, every time you say treasure, my brain short circuits because it's like not a Disney word that I'm used to. And I can't handle, it's going to take me a long time to start calling that ship the Disney treasure.
You're gonna stick with ship 6?
No, in my mind, it was the Disney Enchantment. Like, for the past 5 years, it has been the Disney Enchantment.
Except that the theme of, and I kept saying this, nobody was listening to me, but the theme of the last ship was enchantment. So I don't think, because they kept saying it's enchantment, I didn't think they were going to make the name of the next ship enchantment.
Yeah, okay. I hear you.
But anyway, very exciting.
Dennis says hello. He loves the treasure name. Cindy says she's excited about the DCL announcements. Run Disney returning to Disneyland
We're not there
2024.
yet, Steve.
No.
You got to read the parts and the parts we're at.
Well, I know, but I just wanted to make sure that Cindy's thoughts were heard here. So we're a lot of us excited about Run Disney coming back to Disneyland too. So I guess that's about it. We will put together as more information comes out on the Disney Treasure. We will be doing some more. Probably live shows. We'll put together some shows, during the regular podcast format as well, and just try and stay on top of all the information and get it out to you. So follow us on Facebook. I'm not as good on Twitter as much. Twitter, somebody told me about this one time. Twitter is like a million people in a room all shouting over each other, and I kind of feel that way. So sometimes like people put stuff out there, I feel like, do I really need to yell that out there too? But follow us along on Twitter too. And over at Instagram at DCL_podcast for all that kind of information. So the other big announcement, anything else about the treasure, you guys? The other big announcement for Disney Cruise Line, we can talk about the other one, or the middle one quick, is they have started work on Lighthouse Point. They gave 2 very small concept pictures, which I think are going to be tough. I've got some pictures. I'll throw them up on Facebook here in just a second from what they showed. I think there'll be more stuff that will come out where we'll be able to see it a little bit better. They've started work there. They said that 80 or 90% of the electricity is going to be solar powered. So definitely trying to, keep it, what's the word I'm looking for? Environmentally friendly, and everything that they do, incorporating the Bahamian culture into different things as well for people's experiences. And it should come online. I think, was it 2024? Was that what they speculated, Christy?
Yeah. The little picture said 2024.
Okay, so look for sailings to Lighthouse Point coming in 2024. A lot of things happening in 2024.
Hey, yes. Steve, let's republish the show we've done on Lighthouse Point, where we had our listener come on and explain some of it. So maybe look for that in the next month, you guys, on our feed.
We'll definitely do that. It's the island of Eleuthera, and Lighthouse Point is the very southern part of that island. So, Chris,
fascinating. That episode that we did, I was fascinated by all of it. So I think it would be, especially because podcasts fall off, I think it would be great to put that back out there.
Katie says, cheers from the Poly lobby. I wish I was there right now, Katie, instead of sitting in my closet, but I guess we're talking about something fun. So that's cool. Let's see. Lake says,
maybe I need to go and join them.
Yeah, maybe you should. If Christy signs off here in just a second, we'll know where she's going. She's headed to the Poly.
Do the show, but then,
Chris, any thoughts on Lighthouse Point?
It looks beautiful and very undeveloped. They did like a shot where Josh said, I recently went there, and they showed him and like some drone footage, and it looks like pretty much nothing's happening on the actual island, at least at the time of that filming. But since they're saying 2024, and that's the timing of the Disney Treasure release, I think the target date for Disney Treasure is October 2024.
Do we think Disney Treasure is going to sail from Fort Lauderdale then? Also? Because of...
No, I bet Disney Treasure takes on the Fantasies sailings.
Well, that makes the most sense, but they're also going to be developing that port, and then just wasn't sure. It makes the most sense, though, to have her come up to Port Canaveral, and that's where everybody likes to sail out of, people that are in the know. That was my dig at you guys. I didn't get anything. I didn't get a thing out of it with your stupid, we like the West Coast better comments.
I was thinking about where we were going next. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, where are we going next? We are going to the place that has been rumored, to the far, far hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Where are we going, Steve?
Mordor.
Mordor. Yeah, so we're going on an adventure to Mordor with Sam and Frodo.
No, but we are going to New Zealand, Australia and New Zealand on the beautiful Disney Wonder, which honestly we've been talking about for a long time, but it's great to have an official announcement.
And Christy, wait for those phones to start ringing off the hook, because I think there are going to be a lot of people excited about going down, or probably until they see the price. But
Send me your request and how many Disney cruises that you've been on, because I think that this is going to be released like The Wish was. I could be wrong. I don't really know, but where they released it based upon the number of sailings that you had, not just what your Castaway Club level is.
Do you think that's for all of them, or do you think that's going to be the repositioning when they move down to Australia?
I think it's going to be for the initial Australia release.
Okay. Yeah. So what do we know right now? The last booking, and what's funny is we've got a Cabanas episode, which is going to come out tomorrow for those of you who are watching this. And we speculate the last 15 minutes. Christy and I talk about the speculation that maybe the Wonder's going to go to Australia and all these from a different article down there.
And you have to listen to it because it just gives a lot of amazing information. This article really was great. And so just listen, it's very exciting.
Yeah. So timely, but now we know that she is going there. I think the last sailing that you can book right now on the Wonder is up in Alaska, and it's September of 2023. Mm-hmm. I can't remember.
I think so. And then the theory might be right that she's going to perhaps do a dry dock and then go to the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah.
You talked to somebody at Disney Cruise Line the other day, right? I mean, like they did not know, but their speculation was like somebody that has actually been there for a while, that just one of the booking agents is doing your travel agent duties and everything like that. And their speculation was, well, there could be a dry dock too. So maybe watch for that, I guess, which would be a good point. They do have a good dry dock facility up in Vancouver. Not saying that that's what they will use, but she probably needs a little love and tender care after she had to replace the propeller up there this sailing up while she's up in Alaska and everything else. So there's probably a couple other things they could touch up on before she heads down under.
And she would have some time.
You don't want to premiere a ship in a new market without it being as sparkly as humanly possible.
For sure.
So 2023, September roughly, or it's either the end of September, beginning of October is the last bookable right now on the Wonder. So look for a potential dry dock. And then what they did announce is that she will be doing a South Pacific repositioning cruise down to Australia, where she will do sailings to Australia and New Zealand. If you listen to the Cabanas episode, we touch on what they know of an unnamed cruise line bringing an unnamed ship down there and some of the sailings that they've already got set up. It looks like 3, 4, and 5 day sailings out of Sydney, right? And then there was the possibility of some 7-night sailings down there that went down to looked like possibly Tasmania, which is a huge island south of Australia, which is a beautiful island, maybe over to Melbourne. And they did say New Zealand. So we know that Royal Caribbean, Princess, and a lot of the other cruise lines sail around Australia or do stops in Australia and New Zealand at the same time on cruises. So probably look for those. It seemed that a lot of those shorter sailings were probably, and we're speculating on this and from the article too, is, more for the locals, so down in Australia, because there's a huge Disney crowd down in Australia. So I think that a lot of those are going to be kind of like those Magic at Sea sailings, trying to get as many people on that ship as possible.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope, though, that there's still enough longer cruises.
I think
because I am selfish in that regard.
I mean, that's a long ways to go do like a 3-day cruise. Obviously, probably maybe put some back-to-back ones, but I think there will be some longer ones for people like us who may want to go down there and sail on or down in Australia.
And especially over the holidays, because as we know, Australia's summer is in our winter. And so you'll be able to go over potentially the Christmas, New Year holiday and have that longer gap that in theory maybe you can leave work and school and all those things.
Okay, Chris, any thoughts about, there's a lot of Australians that go to Disneyland. Any thoughts about Australia?
I think the only way I really would like to do Australia is from the comfort of a ship, because I am not interested in spiders and snakes and all manner of poisonous, deadly things all over the beautiful continent of Australia. So this would be like a place where I'm like, there's probably not spiders in my bed on the ship.
I did not have one spider or spider or snake or whatever else you just said over my 2.5-week trip to Australia when I was a kid, except it was winter, but still didn't have that.
Unfortunately, Christy, you didn't grow up with Steve Irwin like I did, and I know for a fact that Australia is just crocodiles, spiders, and snakes.
There's a travel log. I can't say the writer's name now, but he's a famous travel book writer, and he's got a book called The Sunburned Country, and I think that's the very first sentence: is there's more things in Australia that can kill you than any place else in the world. So,
oh, you big babies! I'm going to get some kind of bite, aren't I? Now because I've made fun of you.
Yeah. Good luck, Christy. I want to go. I want to go, but I also have to go. So let's talk about Disneyland real quick.
Okay. So Blake says he thinks the fantasy will move and Treasure will go to Port Canaveral. LNG is still underutilized most places. Dennis says, I want to sail to Australia, bucket list item. Agree with you, Dennis. All right, let's talk about the Disneyland Resort and what was offered there or what was said there. What do you want to talk about, Chris?
Okay, I'll just do a quick overview of some of the high-level stuff. The not on anybody's radar whatsoever announcement was that they're building a San Francisco area in California Adventure. No attractions. It appears that all that will be there is a Baymax meet and greet and then dining and merch. But Big Hero 6 deserves all the accolades. It is such a good movie, and I'm super excited about San Francisco. They also re-announced the e-ticket coming to Marvel, which honestly didn't get a huge cheer from the crowd, I think, the way they thought. I think they confused everyone because they introduced a character named King Thanos, which is like just not a thing in any of the multiverse that we've encountered yet. So people don't really know what to make of it. But it sounds cool. It's definitely a departure from what they announced at D23 the last time for this e-ticket. The ride vehicle looked honestly somewhat similar in size to Indiana Jones or the dinosaur attraction. 4 seats, 3 rows, and a big vehicle. So we'll see. What is that ride? No idea.
Did you catch throughout the different parks analysis, they would be like, this is something we're thinking of, because they want to be able to backpedal out of it if they decide not to finish it or complete it or something happens with their budget.
Oh, Christy, like the theme of today was we learned our lesson by announcing like 40 things that are never going to be built last time. So this time they were like, I mean, I don't want to steal your thunder because you're going to talk about Disney World, but almost everything they announced at Disney World is theoretical. It was all under the Blue Sky moniker. So it's like, are they going to build Encanto and are they going to build a Villain's Land? Maybe, would be cool. But that was an interesting, not super tangible issue with this year's announcements. Is like they did not say a lot of concrete stuff, but in terms of concrete for Disneyland, they were like, hey, we're going to save our big Disneyland announcement for the end. So in my mind, I was like, ooh, what's it going to be? And then it was essentially that they are going to have the Disneyland Resort be the center of the 100 Years of Wonder celebration, which honestly makes sense. The whole theme park industry for Disney started here in Anaheim. They are doing 2 brand new shows, which super excited. They're doing a new World of Color and a new fireworks show. They also did a really cool new song, and they performed it live. It has like super Pasek and Paul vibes if you're a theater fan and you're listening. And I don't know, I'm super excited for both of those.
That song was Wondrous Journeys, and you should look it up if you missed it. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Gosh, and the Magic Happens Parade is returning to Disneyland too, they announced.
Which, 3 years after it made its 2-week debut in the park. That is a wild thing to be bringing back, but we're all super excited about it. And there's going to be new like platinum outfits. They seem to be taking a page out of the Walt Disney World 50th in terms of, the types of in-park offerings. But 2 new spectaculars, sign me up. I love a new spectacular all day, every day. I liked Enchantment. I liked Harmonious. And I like these, I'm sure. So that's what's coming to Disneyland. Did I miss anything?
No. Yes, a couple things. So, but
Tiana.
Somebody needs to comment to Chris. Well, Chris, you're listening. Other Chris, you made a comment with something. Please put where this comment is coming from. That is in our chat for our Patreon group. Okay, so Paradise Pier is officially being renamed and rethemed. We knew it was getting a refresh, but they are now calling it Pixar Pier, or Pixar Place, rather, instead of Paradise Pier. I cannot speak today. You get it. And then they confirmed Two Town was getting their refresh and it's reopening in 2023. And then this is your time, Steve, to talk about your Run Disney that's coming back. They didn't really say much, but Run Disney is coming back to Disneyland in 2024.
Yeah, they didn't really say anything than that. Just that Run Disney is coming back to Disneyland in 2024. It's a little bit off, but hopefully it does. They've had some problems with the city of Anaheim, and
and I'm assuming that they've worked out something where they have some kind of general plan as to what they're going to do, or they're just going to do a bunch of 5Ks. This is like a race of 5Ks.
No, they have to at least do a half. I don't really foresee them doing a marathon because most of it would be outside of the parks. But
the half is outside the park.
Right, but definitely a half. Are you talking about what Chris put as far as like possible itineraries? Is that what you're looking at? Okay.
Okay. And then let me just finish up with Disneyland. The Tiana's Bayou Adventure for late 2024. Basically, the theme is she's hosting a party for the people of New Orleans, and we're going to help Tiana and Louie find a secret ingredient for the party and people. So that is coming to both Walt Disney World and Disneyland in 2024. So that can be the transition if you want to move on to Walt Disney World.
I'd like to know what Chris has to say about Tiana's.
I'm so excited about it. I have not made it a secret that I think Song of the South is a terrible inspiration for a Disney ride. I know that this ride has a ton of happy memories for all of us, but Disney is making such a right move, in my humble opinion, by replacing the theme of this ride with Tiana's. And I think it's going to be a knockout hit. I cannot wait. I have been excited since they announced it. And it's amazing. And, for those of you arguing that it fits better at Disneyland, 100% agree. We have our own New Orleans Square. Of course it fits better here. In fact, we're getting a Tiana's Palace restaurant.
I want.
So in my mind, this is perfect. I could see, some of the criticism about bringing it into Disney World because it doesn't fit in New Orleans Square. But honestly, I think the theme overall for the ride is epic. I love it. Can't wait. And on that note, I do got to run, but have fun talking about WDW.
Bye.
Thanks, Chris. Safe travels, and thanks for jumping on with us.
Okay, so do you want to talk about Walt Disney World or something else first?
I think we should throw these possible itineraries out.
Okay, so
I think it's worthwhile. So
we are going to talk. Go on.
Oh, I just want to say this. Chris, friend of the show, and he's on Twitter and everything like that because of his background, which I'm always careful with that. Like because of his background.
Not careful.
No. I'm just saying that it's just not like me walking down the street going, oh, this might be. I think it could be some pretty legit possibilities. So that's all. Nobody knows.
Steve's grounded.
Nobody.
Okay,
knows.
So
hope I said that right, Chris.
You didn't. The speculation is that there is, right, and I don't know where these dates are coming from, but potentially a 10-night Vancouver to Honolulu on October 3rd, then a 13-night Honolulu to Sydney on October 13th. Is that the one you would maybe take then, Steve?
Yes.
And then a 15-night, so this is when it comes back. Sydney to Honolulu on February 16th, 2024, and a 10-night, so you could do that one too, a 10-night Honolulu to Vancouver on March 1st, 2024.
Yeah, we would be trying to either do that 13 or the 15 nights.
How are you leaving your children?
How are we leaving our children?
15 nights.
Very easily.
And also, can I hire that babysitter that I can leave my child with for 15 nights?
Oh my gosh, it depends upon if one of our our good friend's daughter gets married or not. Hopefully,
and where grandparents are located, maybe. I don't even know, but
yeah. Anyway, so watch for those possibly. I love that idea though. That looks, that looks legit as far as like how they would work those itineraries.
And I have, somebody posted those dates on Facebook. Booking starts October 3rd, which is what I guessed it would be after a couple of weeks.
There we go.
And actually, but October 3rd, now I have to look and see. This is not very good live television. I was hoping it was not that day. I am coming back from London on October 3rd.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well,
I guess I wake up really early in London. How does that work?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's afternoon. I guess I'll do it before.
You'll be back in the afternoon.
Yeah, but that's not how that works, Steve.
Yeah, I know
you got to book
early
as soon as it goes live.
That's true. Yeah, it says my birthday falls on that 10-night Honolulu to Vancouver. Hopefully you guys could do that, Chad. That'd be a great birthday present. I know what
I'm doing in the morning and in Europe. Okay, so
let's go back. Let's go back before you touch on those bullet points. The very top one for Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're talking about Walt Disney World now. You transitioned and weren't very clear about that to me. When the Parks and Experiences panel started, there was a live performance with Jordan something, whoever sings Happily Ever After, and I texted you all, Happily Ever After is coming back. And like the next thing Josh said is Happily Ever After is coming back. I am so happy about that. I believe he said it's basically at the end of the 50th anniversary party, right? Or celebration.
Yeah. Yes.
So then he also said that Harmonious is going away, and Harmonious got a lot of cheers. And so I think people are like, we like Harmonious.
Did they say it's going away, or did they just say they had a new show coming for?
Well, that's what they don't do 2 shows.
Okay.
So I have my notes say Harmonious is leaving and a new show debuts later next year.
Okay. I missed that part of it. I was running.
Right. You were gone though. Like you were leaving. You didn't care about Walt Disney World. And Chris sent us this quote that potentially Josh said that change is hard and we don't always get everything right. And that would have been after Josh talked about the Happily Ever After coming back. So didn't get it right, Josh. Didn't get Enchantment right. It's just Happily Ever After tugs at every heartstring and all the feels that I just have not gotten ever with Enchantment. It's beautiful, but it's not this,
There's like a soul missing to Enchantment. Like all the music's really good and everything like that, but there's like no soul to it or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense. But I do like the fireworks. I hope that they add a few more fireworks to Happily Ever After.
I do agree to that. You're right, because there are more fireworks in Enchantment, and I do appreciate that as well, especially as someone who watches from afar most of the time.
Yeah, and right. So Happily Ever After is coming back.
So they obviously the Tiana's Bayou Adventure would be arriving. They talk about their dumb fountain, journey of water.
Come on, that's Moana. People are going to be excited about that.
It's a fountain. Oh, it's a fountain that's apparently going to squirt at you because he says something like, its water is going to be you weren't listening. And I need Chris because Chris knows all the words. Basically, I believe this fountain is going to squirt at you, which, makes me even love it more because I just love being splashed with water. But some things that are the speculation that might happen is that Dinoland is going to have a Zootopia experience and a Moana experience. So that is in the works, perhaps. And then the Magic Kingdom is going to have an Encanto experience, but it could also just be like a meet and greet. It could be a building. You never know with Disney, right? And also Coco. And then he was very clear to say this was not happening anytime soon, that there's going to be a villain land. Or, that was what he called it. A villain land behind the road I take to get to my house. Behind, what is it? Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain, yeah.
Yes. So
I didn't realize they had a lot of space back there. So
yeah, well, there are trees. So, yeah, and a road, a road I really like. That's how the road I'm going to take when I invite myself to go and meet Lake and Katie at the Poly shortly. So I think those are the biggest things that were discussed. And then they went into that Disney 100 Years of Wonder starting in January of 2023. And mostly though, and that is coming to Walt Disney World, but we don't know how it's coming to Walt Disney World.
Right.
So
I'm excited if they do that Villain Land.
Oh, I know. There's people out there. I get it. 100% understand. I don't know if I'm ever going into it, but there's people that are very into that.
That would be, I think if they, I have confidence that they would do it right. But if they had like one or two attractions and then like a cool, like Oga's Cantina or something like that, but villain themed and everything. I mean, I know Top of the World Lounge has gone to that villain theme and people are excited about that up there. I think people would be really excited to do that. Chad says, my daughter's pumped for Villains Land. Anthony's getting on a plane and headed to see The Wish. Safe travels, Anthony. We can't wait to hear your thoughts on The Wish.
And Derry's comment is that it's coming in cupcakes, and she is not wrong because Josh even said there's going to be new food. And okay, yeah, so we get like a colorful cupcake. Fantastic. And if the people who are listening at our replay want to know where these comments are coming from, we go live in our Patreon group. So you can check us out at patreon.com/DCL podcast for more.
Actually, this is on our Facebook group too.
Oh, it's in
and
both.
our YouTube. It's
look at that. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're all kinds of live right now.
Yeah. We had to for this one because
it's big.
A lot of cool things. Dennis wants to know how you really feel about the Villains Land.
No, I think that was about also I think that comment was back in the Epcot.
Oh, the
journey
fountain
of water.
The jumping fountains, yeah.
And that's why, though, Josh was like, these are concepts. These are things we think are going to happen. Because we had the Mary Poppins experience whatever that was supposed to occur. That's sort of been scratched. All this other stuff that was supposed to occur is not happening anymore right now at Epcot. So,
well, we'll see.
Shareholders get all the money, not the parks.
Well, I'm excited for a lot of these things. I hope some of them come true. I would have loved to. I'm still waiting at Cherry Tree Lane to do that. I wanted to jump on that horse, and go bouncing through kind of a Mary Poppins theme. I think that would have been kind of cool. But
there was a horse.
Oh, that was like one of the speculations. I think maybe that was
a
like
horse?
the ride. Yeah, like when they on like a carousel type horse.
Oh,
yeah.
So one of the Zootopia Moana experiences is just taking that circle Dumbo-esque Triceratops spin ride and just turning it into something different. So that is going to be one because we saw the picture. They put the picture up of the what is it called? The something art?
The concept art.
Concept art.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so then I took it and I was like staring. I tried to be like Chris so I could study stuff. And yeah, one of them's just a spinner ride, but that's fine. I mean, new experiences are exciting.
Exactly.
Even if it's a cupcake.
I think it's gonna be more than a cupcake. I have confidence. It may not happen soon. It may be later, but hopefully I'll still be alive when the Villains Land comes in. Let's go back to Disneyland just real quick because they did announce a couple things that are sort of cool. The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda are coming to Disneyland. You'll be able to meet them in Star Wars Galaxy Edge mid-November. I think that one's pretty cool. I'm not as excited about the Hulk, but I know a lot of people are. So
I don't know if this was D23 release exciting.
No, I think, and that's what I was being snarky when we were texting it first because it was like, they better step up the game here a little bit because we're like an hour in and like
they haven't told us anything.
They haven't told us anything. They're patting themselves on the back, and we know Baby Yoda's coming. Katie
and the Hulk is appearing for a little while. They said, I know they were very clear about saying Hulk is appearing for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and he was dressed up with like Ant-Man's helmet. Like, what was that? I don't know.
Maybe for Halloween.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oogie Boogie. Maybe it's an Oogie Boogie situation.
Yeah. Chad says the King Thanos ride. We talked about that a little bit, Chad. I'm not sure if you're on there. We don't know anything about it other than it's coming. it kind of got a thud just because, and as Chris speculated, I'm not sure people understood what they were talking about when they announced it. So more to come on that ride, but anything that they're adding to Marvel Campus, I think is going to be cool. So also Hulk you'll be able to meet Hulk within like tomorrow or something like that, or in 2 days, they said pretty quickly for anybody who's going to be in Disneyland.
Katie said it was a time travel suit from Endgame.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Katie. I was watching on my little phone, and so
Katie, type in more things that we're supposed to say about it. Hulk is in his quantum suit.
Okay, I was watching.
Still nothing of what any of this means.
Yeah, I should have Chad on here live because he would be able to tell everybody what was going on with that. So, all right. Dennis says the Mandalorian and Grogu are cool. It will be fun to have them at Galaxy's Edge. I agree, and I think that's it. So. Speculation for the Wonder, possibly October 3rd for bookings. Watch that. It should, if it's not out already, if we miss that, if it's not out already, I'm sure it'll be out in the next couple of days. As far as when those bookings go live, and I took a screenshot of it. Once again, speculation of possible bookings on the Wonder 10 night from Vancouver to Honolulu, October 3rd and 23, 13-night Honolulu to Sydney on October 13th, 15-night Sydney to Honolulu, February 16th, 2024, and a 10-night Honolulu to Vancouver, which is March 1st, 2024, which would put her back way early for Alaska. So be interesting to see what she does then, I guess. Maybe go down and do some Mexico sailings. We will see. A lot of changes coming to Disney Cruise Line as they come up with another ship, the Disney Treasure, and then as they start to move things around and sail to different destinations like Australia.
Here we go. It's in Disney Travel Agent News. Today at D23, back to Australia, they announced going to Australia. Repositioning cruises of the Disney Wonder will be the South Pacific voyages for Disney, will be the first South Pacific voyages for Disney Cruise Line, giving guests the chance to experience destinations like Fiji and Samoa. The Disney Wonder will embark on these Disney Magic at Sea cruises through February 2024, ranging from 2 to 6 nights, interesting, and departing from 4 home ports, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Australia, and Auckland, New Zealand. Disney Magic at Sea. So this is just like the thing that was happening with the Magic over in England in 2021. Disney Magic at Sea bookings open September 29th for Australia and New Zealand, and repositioning cruises. And I'm so sorry, guys. Open September 29th for Australia and New Zealand, and repositioning sailings open October 6th for the general public. Oh, so they're doing it in stages, but of their own cruises.
Wow. Is that making sense?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, to be more to be heard, but it sounds like if they're doing that, then probably for those repositioning cruises, which I know are going to be pretty popular going through the South Pacific, I'm sure they'll be kind of like the Wish.
Oh no, it's all the same. So it is that. It's Australia and New Zealand and repositioning cruises. That's like one sentence.
Gotcha.
So, but they just threw a bunch of ands next to it. And then October 6th. So it's going to start October 29th, or September 29th. Could not be an absolute worst time for that to start for me. So September 29th, September 30th, I bet they're going to have their upper platinum guest. Then October 3rd, it's probably still going to be platinum. 4th would be gold. We don't know anything, right? 5th would be silver, and 6th is the general public. This is my speculation based upon where it is in the calendar. Zero idea if this is going to be true or not, except that Disney told us those dates. That's all I have.
So we'll put them up on
the
we'll put them up on the Facebook page, I guess, and just kind of a rough idea of what, just so people are ready to or paying attention if you want to book these.
Yeah, I will grab this this press release, whatever, and I'll put it in the group, or I'll give it to you to put in the group.
Okay, perfect. Well, anything else, Christy, on this D23 Super Bowl day?
No. Apparently, I don't remember them saying this, but also I had to call Disney, I had to talk to them during this. But apparently they've announced, or they did in my Disney travel news, that Tron Light Cycle will invite guests to enter the grid in spring of 2023.
Oh, wow.
So we guess we have a date. And Happily Ever After will play again. They just says in 2023.
Well, then, I guess as we get out of here, if you joined us a little bit later, I'm sure you've already heard the newest Disney Cruise Line ship, which should be launching in in 2024. Speculation probably for the fall of 2024 for her inaugural sailings is the Disney Treasure. It is themed once again, adventure theming with Jasmine and the Magic Carpet, and Aladdin will be the Grand Hall. They're calling it the Grand Hall again, feature on the ship. I'll read this one more time for those of you who joined us a little bit later. But Imagineers have dreamed up a new design concept inspired by the theme of adventure, celebrating Walt Disney's lifelong love of exploration. The Grand Hall is inspired by the grandeur and mystery of a gilded place, drawing on real-world influence from Asia and Africa and paying homage to the far-off land of Agrabah. At the center, the signature statue will feature Aladdin, Jasmine, and their Magic Carpet. They also teased in some Disney Cruise Line kind of porthole windows as they came up on a CGI ship. They had Coco, Moana, and then they had the 3 hitchhiking ghosts from the Haunted Mansion. So kind of teasing that to be part of the ship as well. The only thing we haven't heard is what's going to be on the back of the ship. Any speculation there, we can speculate on that. That might be a fun thing to speculate on. And then the Disney Wonder will be sailing to Australia, New Zealand in 2023, as we've been kind of talking about.
And I wonder if those dates are not going to quite be correct and that dry dock might still occur because it says beginning in late October. So the release from Disney says beginning in late October 2023. So that would push things back as opposed to mid-October, right?
Right. Okay, I guess that's it. So thanks for everybody who joined us. Love to see new things coming to Disney, whether it's Disney World, Disneyland. Of course, Disney Cruise Line, we're always excited about that, excited to see that next ship. And the speculation, not to get ahead of ourselves, is there will be another ship coming. There has been nothing as far as it not coming. So definitely, I think that will be in the works, and probably 2 years from now, possibly, we'll be hearing a little bit more about that ship.
And if you missed, because there's a couple of people that are joining late, if you missed this, Steve will put it up on we'll make it go into the world, right?
Yes. Yes. Last final question or comments. Liz says she's excited to see what dining is going to be like on the new ships. So am I. I would love to see a Coco themed restaurant. It shows the Wonder October 3rd, 2023, going from Vancouver to Honolulu. So we shall see. That's what Maria says.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess go back and listen. Based on what Disney is releasing in their press releases, it looks like it's going to be a little bit later than that. And that bookings actually open up before that. So I guess that is it for today.
Yeah, so we will have our Cabanas episode out tomorrow. Look for that. There's about 15 minutes of us speculating, or from a really good article from Down Under, talking about the possibilities of some of the sailings. So even that's a little bit dated now, based on what they announced today. Hope you enjoyed that Cabanas episode for September. I want to thank each and every one of you who come back and listen to our show. It has been fun chatting with all of you: Katie, Chad, Maria, Liz, Dennis, Blake, Anthony. Who else did we miss today? But
there's a couple other who's did we say Derry? I think we did, but there's a couple others that I can't see the names of, and I am trying to get in, and I can't get in to see it.
Okay. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out with us today. Excited for the new ship coming, and we look forward to seeing you soon on another DCL podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this live Copy of the Cove broadcast, which you could have watched on our Facebook channel, also over at our YouTube channel. And of course, as we were talking, they were coming out with all the information for these cruises on the Disney Wonders. I just wanted to make sure that you got that straight, since we were kind of trying to figure it out as we were talking live. But they have put it up on the DCL website, DCL Cruise Line website, so you can go there, look for all the information. I want to give just a kind of a heads up. October 3rd is when booking begins for Platinum Castaway Club members, October 4th for Gold, October 5th for Silver and Disney Vacation Club members and Adventure Insiders, and then October 6th for everybody else. And really what they're looking at is 4 sailings, 10-night sailing to Vancouver, from Vancouver to Honolulu on October 3rd, 2023. Then there's going to be a 13-night sailing through the South Pacific from Honolulu to Sydney. That's October 13th, and then coming back February 16th, 15-night sailing from Sydney back to Honolulu.
and that'll be followed by a 10-night sailing from Hawaii, from Honolulu to Vancouver, and that is March 1st, 2024. All of those go on sale, once again, starting for Platinum Castaway Club members on October 3rd. You can go to Disney Cruise Line's website, find out all the information there. Well, once again, a lot of fun things coming to the parks, to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, all of the international parks as well, coming to Disney Cruise Line. The return of Run Disney back to Disneyland as well, in the name of Disney Cruise Line's newest ship, which will debut in 2024, the Disney Treasure. A lot of informations are going to be coming out in the future about that ship. So appreciate you once again coming back. For all of those who followed us live, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, once again, thanks for coming back and taking a listen. If you were heading out to the parks, heading out on a Disney cruise, heading out on Adventures by Disney, on behalf of myself, Steve, Christy, and Chris, all of us here at the Disney, all of us here at the DCL podcast, we want to wish you to be well, enjoy time with family and friends, and we'll see you next time on the DCL podcast.
The DCL podcast is not affiliated with the Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney Company, Adventures by Disney, or Run Disney. All of the opinions expressed on our shows are those of the hosts and the guests who appear on the show. If you have any questions about any of these products, please contact the Walt Disney Company.